Welcome to your Alabama-Wisconsin preview presented by PrizePicks. Ari, we are headed to Madison.
Three really, really good games on paper. Two didn't go according to plan, but I'm hoping that we get a good game on Saturday.
Yeah, so we've been to Florida, Miami, and we've been to Texas, Michigan, and I feel like we are the harbinger of road teams clobbering home teams.
Yeah, and I don't know that Alabama really needs any help in this specific situation. So
Yeah. Here's the big thing with Alabama. I mean, if you watch the Alabama-USF game, they looked very different when their two starting offensive tackles were out. Caden Proctor didn't play at all. Elijah Pritchett didn't come in until the fourth quarter. When he came in the fourth quarter, all of a sudden their offense just clicked. Everything worked. They scored 3 consecutive touchdowns and the game was over. But that game was in doubt. If they can't have both of them on the field, then I think there would be a bigger problem. But I would imagine that they're going to have pretty much a full complement, and that's what they were working toward, to have a full complement for this game. So I feel like Alabama's got a very good chance to win this game. As to how they win it, when that offensive line is clicking and at full strength, they're going to be able to run the ball down your throat. So from a PrizePicks standpoint, we're talking about America's best daily fantasy game. Download the app, use the code Staples, play $5, get $50 instantly. You pick squares. So here's an example. The square for Alabama running back Jalen Milroe is 64.5 rushing yards. If Alabama's O-line is healthy or healthy enough to have the full starting 5, more than feels pretty solid for Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, absolutely. The question that I have with Wisconsin is, what does the path to a Wisconsin win in this game look like? And then you look at Ches Malusi's number here for rushing yards at 42.5, and it's like, that's not very encouraging.
No, it's get after Jalen Milroe is what it is. It's Jalen Milroe has less than 216.5 pass yards, or less than and less than 44.5 rush yards. When Alabama has struggled offensively, it's been because Jalen Milroe has been getting sacked. Now, I say Jalen Milroe getting sacked and not blaming the offensive line for that, because a lot of times last year, Jalen Milroe would kind of walk into some sacks or move out of the pocket into a sack. And so we'll see if he's gotten better at that. We'll see if the Kalen DeBoer offense helps on that front. But that's how you get them off their spot. That's how you get them out of rhythm, and then they get in weird down and distances. They can't dominate you on the ground. That's how Wisconsin wins if they're going to win.
Yeah. And, the kryptonite to Wisconsin, historically, at least the recent history, has been facing teams like Alabama that just ooze with talent all over the place, with speed and athleticism.
Because there's always a mismatch.
And you want, if you're Wisconsin, to be able to bog down a game, get after the opposing quarterback, but also control the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
And if we're sitting at more than or less than 42.5 yards for their featured back, like I look at that and that's a very low number to me.
Yeah, Tyler Van Dyke, the Wisconsin quarterback, his number is 186.5 pass and rush yards, or 182.5 pass yards. So not expecting a lot of running from Tyler Van Dyke. And also, remember, sacks count against your rushing total in college. So that is probably not going to be a huge number for Tyler Van Dyke. But I feel like with this Phil Longo offense, like when he went to Wisconsin, my thought was not, it's going to be the air raid, they're going to throw it 40 times a game. I thought back to 2020 when he had Michael Carter and Javonte Williams in North Carolina's offense. And when they were at their best, those dudes would carry the ball 40 times.
Yeah, it's just a spread out version of the same thing that we're used to seeing from Wisconsin, a team that can rush the ball, but it doesn't just come out of the I formation in a boring, slow way. It's like very dynamic, very different formations. They get people off balance, and they control the ball on the ground. And that's kind of what you would hope for from Wisconsin. And then, of course, you want TVD to avoid the turnovers that he's had.
The hard part for this against a team like Alabama is Alabama doesn't necessarily really have to devote more. Like if you're spreading them out, they're pretty confident that their corners can cover your receivers one-on-one. And based on what we've seen from Wisconsin's receivers, I think that they probably can. So it's not like they're not going to have what they need in the box to run, because that's a lot of the spread offenses when they can really run the ball. It's a box count situation. You're running into a 6-man box. I don't think Wisconsin's going to get a lot of light boxes. I think Alabama can keep the box heavy, let the DBs cover one-on-one, and they're going to be just fine. So that's why, because I do think Alabama is going to win this game pretty comfortably, I might be playing on my own PrizePicks account. Wisconsin kicker Nathaniel Vakos, 1.5 field goals made. I might go more than 1.5 field goals made because I could see a couple of sad field goals.
Yeah, the final score of the game, 42-6. You're there.
Exactly. 42-6. Boom. That's exactly what I was looking for. The question is, did I get Jalen Milroe there? The Ryan Williams 0.5 rushing and receiving TDs. What did he say? 4 + 2 = 6.
Yeah. Well, also too, the Jalen Milroe rushing yards,
44.5.
This is a guy that's going to try to get out of the pocket and make some things happen, and that seems like a pretty reasonable number as well that you might consider going more than.
Ari, I hope we don't bring another blowout. I want a fun game. I'm a little worried that the trend will continue. And if that's the case, then all these road teams need to start calling us and saying, hey, come to our game. We just bid it out.
Yeah. And I feel bad in advance for Oklahoma because I think I'm going up there for the Tennessee game the following weekend.
My.
And that's going to be the biggest game of the week, I think. And Tennessee is going to be coming in feeling pretty good about themselves. And I don't want to tank the Sooner.
If you see one of us and you're the home team, you should be scared.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're going to start getting credentials denied.
Thanks so much for watching.
And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel wherever you listen to your podcast and leave a 5-star review.